night. So the group tonight, many of you know because you're here because you know who they are. Some of you may not know who they are, but after tonight you will. All right, so I won't say much now. I'll save it for later. I'm Joy Bennett. I'm the executive director of Old Songs, and you're not. No. Oh, it's a little wet, you know. So without any further ado, Cantrip.
Thanks very much. There's a lot of applause when we haven't even done anything yet. Morning, Dave. Drone line about to be plugged in. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks very much, folks. Okay. Save your energy. Save your energy. You're going to need it, and so will we. Well, thanks very much. Once again, we allowed our crippling social anxiety to get the better of us there and just ripped into a set of tunes before telling you what it was that we were going to do to you. What we did to you was a bunch of reels. And the first one is from Cape Breton. And it's called the Rector at the Fèis. And for those of you who are uninitiated into the ways of kind of Gaelic music and whatnot, a fèis is not an aquatic animal. It's a festival where people get together and they speak Gaelic and sing songs in Gaelic and play tunes in Gaelic and drink in Gaelic and basically kind of conduct life as they would normally, but in the medium of Gaelic. And there's one particular fèis that was attended by the composer of the tune. There was a fellow by the name of Ryan J. McNeil. It was also graced by the presence of a rector, a holy man. So, not surprisingly, Ryan called the tune The Rector at the Fèis. Just let that one sink in for a minute there. Followed that with a tune to an old Gaelic song called Mullach and Caberfé, which translates basically as In Praise of the Deer's Antlers. And there are, deer's antlers are lovely things, and many are indeed worthy of praise. These particular deer's antlers were the kind of symbol of the Mackenzies of Gairloch. And, they were a very powerful clan, or at least thought they were, up in the northwest part of Scotland there. And the story behind the song goes that there was one weekend where one of their chiefs was away somewhere. And whilst he was away, there were a bunch of these Macintoshes who suddenly poked their heads up out of the bushes, looking about. Saw the chief was away, snuck out, grabbed a bunch of his cattle and took off up the glen. And so when your man got back from, Edinburgh or Mallorca, or wherever it was that he'd been, and saw what had happened, he did the only thing that honour would allow, which was to round up a bunch of his boys, shove them all in the back of the SUV that he just brought back and away up the glen, and grab the cattle, slap the Macintoshes about a bit, back home. And for that reason, the bards have sung his praises for hundreds of years, and for that reason, we have that tune to play for you here this evening. What was next? It was the Drunken Smith of Killychassie, or also known as Cumalish na Hinikin Keeper and Kiln Lahore. One is not a direct translation of the other. And we finished with The Farmer's Daughter. And now something else is going to happen. What is that, Alice?
Quite. We're going to play 3 jigs for you now. They're the ones that go oranges, cabbages, oranges, cabbages, oranges, cabbages. You can sing along if you like. Be entertaining for us, anyway. As I say, there's 3 of them here, and the first one was written by kind of one of the modern greats of Scottish music, Gordon Duncan, a fantastic piper and composer. His tunes are very, very widely played now. As I say, they're kind of modern classics, really, and this is one of his reasonably well-known ones. It's called The Panda, and he wrote it for his dad's car when he was growing up. His dad had a Fiat Panda. I don't know if you've heard of those. Actually, my parents had twin brown Fiat Pandas when I was growing up. Bit of a legendary car, very, very boxy.
Almost Soviet in their simplicity,
yes.
But God, they were effective.
But it is worth knowing the difference between the names for car models between Europe and the US. Over here you've got the Ford Expedition and the Explorer and the Mollicator and the
Executioner.
The Eviscerator. And back home we've got the Panda. So named for an evolutionary cul-de-sac. So the next one we've got, yes, we'll have the, I don't know.
It was the Vauxhall platypus. Was
the Vauxhall platypus, yes.
Was that was an Australian
Yes,
import,
and
but
yes.
it was the same idea.
Yeah. The Ford Dodo, sadly, no longer in production, but...
No, but he was head of the company for a while, was he not?
Yeah. That's right. So we've got the first one, that's the Panda, and then we follow it with a tune that is both from Ireland and Scotland. It's played in both places, and then, you know, those distinctions are really kind of arbitrary anyway. And we finish up with a great tune from Lewis, which is where I'm from, the Isle of Lewis, woo! Which is part of the Outer Hebrides, and it's called Donald MacLean, written by one of our great composers, Donald MacLeod. No, pardon me, Peter R. MacLeod, he wrote. There's lots of MacLeods. There's lots of Donalds, there's lots of MacLeods. And it turns out there's a lot of Donald MacLeans as well. And there was a big one and there was a small one. There was wee Donald MacLean and big Donald MacLean. This one was written for big Donald MacLean, because it's got 4 parts, so it's a big tune. That's how you keep track. Yeah.
Thank you.
If you have a white Toyota Prius that is parked down the road, you need to go move it quickly because
It's on fire.
no one's about to be told.
Oh.
It's blocking the driveway. Okay, Ed, please start with your applause where you just ended and raise it that much more for Cantrip.
Thank you.
And there's a Toyota Beaver as well down this street that you might have to move. It's quite at home in the wet, so you'll be fine, I think, roughly.
We're going to sing you a song now. This is a song that I learned from the great Tony Cuff. And if you've seen us before, you've probably heard me speak of Tony Cuff. Tony Cuff, I see some nods and some smiles. Tony was a legendary Scottish musician. We're blessed to have a number of wonderful songwriters and troubadours who come from this music, and Tony is one of the greats. He spent the last 2 decades of his life in Arlington, Massachusetts. I grew up in that area, and I never met him, but of course, everyone who lives there and plays this music will know of Tony. Tony, he played in some great, well-known bands called Ossian and Jock Tamson's Barons, and also one of my favorite band names ever, one of his lesser-known groups, is the Windbags. Yes, that's no joke. Seriously, the Windbags. And so I love singing Tony's music. I feel just by nature of living close to him, I feel like there's an aura around him that I was caught up in, and so I'm happy to sing all of his stuff. This is a song that I learned from Tony called Bra Sailing. Bra is a Scots word for anything that's really wonderful or exciting or great, which could be a bit misleading for this song. I don't know how much you know about Scottish music, but hope you didn't come here to be uplifted. This one is sort of wants to be a happy love song, but can't quite get there. And it ends with a broken-hearted lad in a pub. Very typical Scottish song. There came a letter yesterday. Our ship it sails and more. Alas, cried my bonny lass, that ever I were born. And it's bra sailing on the sea when wind and weather's fair. But it's better being in my love's arms. I wish that I were there. So when he came to her farmhouse at 12 o'clock at noon, the lassie being proud-hearted, she would not let him in. And it's bra sailing on the sea when wind and weather's fair. But it's better being in my love's arms. I wish that I were there. So she's taken the ring from her pocket. It cost her shillings 9, saying, take this ring, my bonny lad, for I have changed my mind. Then he's taken the ring from his pocket. It cost him guineas 3, saying, take this ring, my bonny lass, and never think well of me. Now it's bra drinking Glasgow beer, it's better drinking wine, but it's best when I'm in my love's arms, where I've been many's the time. And it's bra sailing on the sea when wind and weather's fair, but it's better being in my love's arms. I wish that I were there. And it's bra sailing on the sea when wind and weather's fair, but it's better being in my love's arms. I wish that I were there. Thank you.
Thanks very much, folks. We've got 2 hornpipes for you now. You're very excited by that, I can tell. Barely able to contain it? Yes, it's okay, you can contain it, it's fine, I know. Hornpipes are funny ones. They were very, very popular there for a while in the north of England, right around Northumberland, around about kind of just Newcastle and north of Newcastle. And there was a very famous exponent of hornpipes called James Hill back in the day, I think kind of mid-19th century. I might be wrong, but that's what I've got in my head. And he was a great exponent of hornpipes. He composed lots of them. People would flock from miles around to come and hear him play in this pub in Gateshead in Newcastle. Entertainment has progressed slightly since then. Nevertheless, we are going to play some hornpipes as well, and I suppose you've flocked from miles around to hear us play them. So, you know, history doesn't repeat, it merely rhymes. That's what they say, isn't it? So we've got 2 of them here, The Shooting Star and Web Culture. Both they're kind of contrasting tunes, but they work well together, so hope you enjoy them.
Thank you. Thanks very much. So we're going to do something now that was at one time illegal to do. I mean, many things were, but not strictly illegal, I suppose. We're gonna sing a walking song, which.
Well, look at this. This is the best bit of choreography in the show. Beautifully done.
Just wait till we have to pass them back.
Tell you what. So, so walking songs are they're labour songs, and at one time in the Isles, well, the activity of walking it's not like bipedal perambulation or anything like that. It was the activity of setting the dye in a big piece of fabric and getting the fibre to shrink so that it would fill up and get really tight and waterproof and all that kind of thing. And the way it was done was people would save, the way people nowadays save money and coupons and things like that. Back then, people saved urine in jars, and they would save, human urine and cow, bovine, equine, anything they could find. Because what they would do, they'd let this sit for a while, and then when it was time to set the dye in the cloth, they'd soak it overnight in the gear there, and the next day it would be stitched into a loop or a Mobius strip for those of you who are mathematicians, and they'd sit around a table and rhythmically just beat the crap out of it for a couple of hours whilst it shrunk, and then when that one was all good and set, they'd bring out another one and same unto it, and it's quite quite intense work. And it was strictly the purview of women. And, if men were caught anywhere nearby, they would be, severely dealt with. Because a lot of what the walking song specifically, it was kind of a subcultural thing, because that was where women had an opportunity to talk about things going on in the village, other men, in rhythm and rhyme, so whoever was singing the song is like, so-and-so, he drum, ho drum, there's a bit of a knob, he drum, ho drum, and he's doing the he, and so, they'd kind of pass messages around in code and not, yes, exactly, just like that. This particular song dates back from like about 1457, and it concerns an incident, a situation, if you will, that occurred on the Isle of North Uist between some of the MacLeods and the McDonalds of North Uist. Basically, the crack was that there were a bunch of MacLeods who'd come over from, I think, Harris, with the intent of stealing cattle. You're probably detecting a theme. The McDonalds didn't like this idea. They got together an armed posse. Again, you're probably detecting a theme. They went and dismantled the MacLeods, euphemistically speaking. And but in the process of this, the young chief of the McDonalds managed to get himself shot in the side with an arrow, kind of like in that film Deliverance. And yeah, I know where your minds just went, but it wasn't that bit. But he was dragged, nonetheless, from the field of battle onto a black house where his foster mother and various other women tended to him in the medical sense, and they extemporized this song. I guess it's not really a walking song, because they were sort of smacking a human body rather than a piece of cloth, but or working on a human body.
Principle remains the same, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, but I think that's how it works.
Probably didn't prepare the subject in the same way that they would if they were actually walking it, but nonetheless, they extemporized the song as they were, pulling the shrapnel out of him and stitching his limbs back on and that sort of thing.
Very advanced arrows in 1450.
Oh my God, they were fierce. My song's in Gaelic, so if you don't understand it, it's us, it's not you. But basically it talks about what a fab fella he is, what a rather disgusting situation he got himself into, how crud the world would be if he ever went away, which obviously he did eventually, and I mean, look where we are. And talks a little bit about some of the 15th century Hebridean medical practices as well. Won't get into that because there's just not enough time to dwell on those details. The song's called Aviki and Hamish, and I'm going to sing it before I give away the punchline. Oh, yeah. Aviki and Hamish, those gelmar. Fara the yo, Var he var med moljanov. He fei ho I dis ho alle vo is ho alle. Richian Hamish Hados Gillet Mahe, Ifar Allalio, Lahablar Hig Vafe Med Mulyanov, He ho, he yellow, he ho, he yellow, he ho. Thank you. Dr. Marks.
Look at that. Oh, expertly done. Yeah, there we are. They didn't even get the They didn't even get the cables tangled.
Tell you, that's just pure class right there.
Done that before, eh? We're going to play another set of tunes for you now. Another three tunes all lumped together in a set, and then we're going to have a short break, and we can let you do whatever it is you need to do. Looks to be cakes and baked goods over there, but far more enticingly, there are CDs over there. Yeah,
CDs taste much better.
oh, yes.
This is some sort of delicious biscuit.
Yeah, it must be. So we've got three tunes here, as I say. The first one is very, very old. The second one is very, very new. And the third one is somewhere in between. It's just right, in fact. And the middle one, I know it's very new because I wrote it. And I named it after a song. Well, I misheard the lyrics of this song. It was a song called Fall on My Knees, which is a very romantic, beautiful love song. What I heard was Follow My Knees, which is less romantic and less beautiful. You can follow our knees if you wish, all the way through this. But a misheard lyric actually has a special name. It's called a mondegreen, which is slightly interesting. A mondegreen is a misheard lyric, and that term comes from an old folk song called the Bonnie Earl of Murray, and it's got a line in it that says, "They've slain the Earl of Murray and laid him on the green." What the folk song collector heard and notated in the annals of history was, "They've slain the Earl of Murray and Lady Mondegreen." So this Lady Mondegreen appeared out of thin air, and she exists in some liminal space with the Tooth Fairy and all that kind of stuff, probably. The same goes for, and this is another nice term, a mount weasel. Have you ever heard of a mount weasel before? That's another good one. It was, I think, coined for the Columbia Encyclopedia around about 1975, and it was there was this entry in it about Victoria Lillian Mountweasel, who was a photographer and a fountain designer, completely fictitious, and it was included just as a award against plagiarism. So if this lady Mountweasel turned up somewhere else, the author of the encyclopedia would know he'd been copied. So that's a little bit of trivia for you today. Mondegreen and Mountweasel, attorneys at law.
I was going to say.
Don't trust them. No.
That reminds me, every time we do a new mailing list sheet, Dan here always puts a few fake emails at the top just to kind of seed the list. You can go read and see what you think of them later. But I always wonder if those ever end up being real emails and we send out our email lists to these people, that would just be great, comical. And that would be a Mount Weasel, right? There you go.
much. Have a wee short break.
Thank you.
We'll be back in about 10 minutes.
See you soon.
On your right, delectable things to eat and drink. On your left, the Cantrip Mall. Shop early, shop often. We'll be back. Voici le printemps qui est arrivé, tous les jeunes gens qu'on s'est rassemblés. Vole mon cœur, vole, la lune est levée. Vole mon cœur, vole, la lune s'en va. Vole mon cœur, vole, la lune est levée. Vole mon cœur, vole, la lune s'en va. That's only part of the song, but that's all you're getting. Next week, thank you. Next week, and that's the 22nd. 1 week from tonight is actually, wait, can I count? Yes, the 15th. Today's the 15th. 1 week tonight is the 22nd. Very good. Gros Isle, right here. Quebecois, Celtic, very different from tonight, and really wonderful. It's a trio. They're fabulous. So there are only 3 more concerts left in the fall season. Gros Isle next week. Winborn on December 6th, and on December 13th, John Kirk, Trish Miller, and Mark Murphy. So now you know to come to all of them. And we have a great spring lineup coming. I won't tell you about it tonight, but those of you, anybody here for the first time, welcome. I hope you're having a good time. And I know there's some people who haven't been here in a while, so welcome back, and we hope to see you at all these little wonderful events. No matter the music, you will love it. Trust me on that. There are people that will tell you that. So we don't do just concerts. We do instrument instruction and an open mic and all sorts of make-your-own music stuff, jams, African drumming. So this card gives you a lot of information. It's at the front where you came in. As you leave, you might take one and see what else we have to offer, and it's always worth the trip. So, without further ado, oh, and of course, the festival. The festival, Old Songs Festival, June 26th to 28th at the Altamont Fairgrounds. And I will tell you that Garnet Rogers will be there this year. As will many other people, which I will tell you in the weeks to come. So another reason for coming is you get to hear who's going to be at the festival. So without further ado, Cantrip.
Thank you very much. It's good to see so many of you still here. Halftime is normally a time for audience members to flee surreptitiously.
1, 2, 3.
All right. Thank you. Thanks very much. So I heard some murmurings during the break there. So as a public service announcement, I thought I'd better explain these bagpipes that I'm playing here. Just to clarify, bagpipe as a concept is fairly simple. Anything that is a bag with a bunch of pipes stuck in it is a bagpipe. And there are many of them. The ones that I'm playing tonight are called the Scottish border pipes. At least that's the modern, politically correct name for them. They're what's that? Want me to tune that for you? It's good. Sounds okay. Okay, just for now anyway. But thank you. That was pretty sweet of you. Yeah. Bagpipes. Yeah. So these are Scottish border pipes. Very often at gigs, people who are sitting on the kind of, I guess, starboard side of the audience kind of come up to me and is like, how are you getting air into the bag? You know, being unable to see the fact that I've got, I'm flapping this arm away like a chicken, keeping the bag full with the bellows. And that's a design of bagpipe that came into Scotland even later than the original bagpipes, which made it into Scotland, I think, by the 14th or 15th century, something like that. So there are two others that exist in Scotland at present. There may have been others. There's what they call the small pipes, which are much like these, except they've got a little cylindrical bore, so they sound quieter and very civilized. And then there's what they call the Highland pipes, or the Piet Voor, which here being called war pipes, but that actually has nothing to do with war. It's war being the feminine form of mór, meaning big. Nothing more sinister than that. Then of course you got the Uilleann pipes, or the Irish pipes, which we think of now as being Irish only because they didn't die out in Ireland. They were actually used all over England as well as Scotland, and most of them were made in, a lot of them were made in like Edinburgh and Aberdeen. Anyway, on to more interesting things. I'm gonna sing you a song by the incredible string band, for those of you who remember them. Does anybody here not remember them or know who they are? Right. If you don't, I realize that large tracks of the 60s are shot from memory, so that's fair. The incredible string band were, a bunch of bearded guys in sandals who were running around London around that time. The most bearded and sandaled amongst them was a fellow by the name of Robin Williamson, who some of you may also have heard of, who now runs around telling stories and playing harp and singing songs to it and other wonderful stuff. And this is the song. We've almost got it. Like, we've never actually played a gig in October to actually make this song seasonally appropriate. But it's got this great line in it about, very, very 60s kind of line about the pine trees laugh green laughter. When I was a kid growing up, I always sort of wondered what that would sound like. Like, would it be like Scooby-Doo after he gets a Scooby snack kind of thing? Or some creepy clown sort of thing. But then, like, when I moved to Vermont, and, I've got this house that's surrounded by pine trees, and, you here will also know that, there is that time of year when all of a sudden just everything turns green. And it's not because the grass is coming up. It's because the pine trees are getting it on. So sort of imagine it now, sort of look out the window that one day, and sort of in the background you hear like, poof, this green cloud of stuff just settles on everything. Anyway, I'm going to sing this before I stick my foot further in my mouth. Or anywhere else for that matter. This is October song. Here we go. 3, 4. sing this October song. Oh, it is no song made for it. The words and tune are none of my own, but my joys and sorrows bore out beside the sea, the bramley briars in the still of evening. Birds fly out behind the sun, I know it then I'll be leaving. Fallen leaves are jewel the ground. They know the art of dying, and leave with joy their glad gold hearts and the scarlet shadows lying. When hunger calls my footsteps home, morning follows after. I'll swim the seas within my mind. The pine trees laugh green laughter. I used to search for happiness, and I used to follow pleasure to life and the door within my mind, and that's the greatest treasure. But rulers like to lay down laws, and rebels like to break them, and poor priests like to walk in chains, and God likes to forsake them. I met a man whose name was Time, and he said I must be going, but just how long ago that was, I'll have no way of knowing. Sometimes I want to merge our time, sometime that my heart's aching, but mostly I'll just walk along the path that he is taking. Thank you.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, we lost another one of Scotland's great singers, the inimitable Archie Fisher. And it was a surprise to us. We found out at the beginning of this tour, and in our minds, he was the man who could never die. So we were quite surprised. But, you know, time takes us all, and now is the time to sing an Archie Fisher song. So we're going to give this one a go. The Final Trawl. Well, it's 3 long years since we made her pay. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o. And the owners say that she's had her day. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o. Well, it's heave her up for the final trawl. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o. It's an easy pull for the catch is small. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o. Then it's stow your gear, lads, and batten down. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o. Then I'll take the wheel, lads, and turn her around. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o. Then we'll join the venture and the morning star. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o. Riding high and empty towards the bar. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o. Riding high and empty. Riding high and empty. For I'd rather beach her on the scary rock. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o, than to see her torched on the breaker's dock. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o. Then we'll make the haven and the fiddler's green. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o, where the grub is good and the bunks are clean. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o. And when I die, you can stow me down. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o, in her rusty hold where the breakers sound. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o, for I fished a lifetime, boy and man. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o, and the final chaw scarcely makes a cram. Sing Holloway, my laddie-o. Thank you, Archie. You all understood your role well on that one. We thank you for that. I bet you did.
All right, we're now going to dredge up the moldiest of the moldy oldies from the Cantrip file. So we normally have another fiddler. We normally have two fiddlers. And well, on this tour, it's starting to feel like a bit of a well-oiled machine most of the time. It's kind of like a well-oiled machine that's missing an arm. And unfortunately, his visa...
Is there oil spurting out of one side?
It's just a flesh wound. His visa didn't come through in time. Now, by in time, I mean, like, it's been 6 months we've been waiting for that thing?
10 months.
Yeah.
10 months.
10 months now. So by the time it comes through, it's basically going to be finished, expired, whatever. We'll have to start the process again. But this was not meant to be a, Soap Stories Parts 1, 2, and 3, other than to mention that it was himself, Mr. Jon Bews, who composed the first tune in this set. Many years ago, back when the band was first forming and we were young and enthusiastic and energetic, as opposed to, old and jaded and cynical as you see us now. The tune is called the Cantrip, which I realize sounds a little bit narcissistic. But Cantrip actually refers, it's a word in the Scots language, which refers to like a spell or a charm or a piece of mischief or indeed the capacity to be held by one's ankles and dipped in pig excrement and come out still smelling clean is another one of the definitions.
We haven't worked that one out yet.
Although I think that's actually what John had in mind when he composed the tune originally. It may be something from his traumatized past that brought that one out.
Luckily, he's watching at home on the live stream, so
yeah.
Write in, John. Tell us
how about that experience. But we'll follow that with the tunes to two Irish Gaelic songs. The first one is called Mochilachin Fian, My Wee Fair Killie. We'll follow that with a very bright tune, very bright sounding, uplifting tune called Ntichitawalilium, or You Will Come Home With Me, which on the surface does indeed sound like a rather forceful and creepy chat-up line. I have heard worse, but we're going live, so get into that right now. But if if you've enjoyed the music tonight and you're enjoying the crack, and you would like us to come home with you, you can. We can. Because right over there we have these little plastic and aluminium foil replicas of ourselves, which you could very easily grab one or two of those, preferably exchange it for some cash, and then you'd have us at home with full control over the volume, when you want it played, all that kind of thing. And again with the old and jaded and cynical, amongst the three of us, well, four of us, John not being here, we, at home, we've got about 17 babies to support. So if you buy a CD, you can think of it as...
And I don't have any kids, so...
that you're aware of. Yeah. So anyway, you can. If you buy a CD, you can sort of think of it as like saving babies' lives. And we'll finish off with two tunes simultaneously, which I know sounds like a complete disaster waiting to happen. And it might be. We'll see how it works out tonight. The first one is called Ian's Jig, because we learned it from Ian McGuinness, and we couldn't think of anything more creative to call it. And the air that goes with it is called Hej Migachi Cruel Kintalia, or I Will Return Home to the Cattle Folds of Kintail. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, well, we've saved this one for good reason, and we're going to sing you our Happy Scottish song now. Actually, this is the Happy Scottish song. And it's called Say Will We Yet. You know it? Okay. If you don't, the words are Say Will We Yet. That's it. That's all you need to know. So it goes Say Will We Yet, Say Will We Yet. You repeat the last line of whatever verse came before, and then Say Will We Yet. And the version we're singing is the Scots version, so if you speak Scots and you can get the verses, and the lines and the verses, by all means, go for it. But if not, whatever comes out of your mouth is going to be great. Just la-di-la, blah-di-blah, anything. Say Will We Yet is coming. It's going to be great.
As long as it's in time and in tune, maybe grand.
Yeah. Sounds like this. And say will we yet, and say will we yet, the last line of the verse before, and say will we yet. Let's try it together. And say will we yet, and say will we yet, the last line of the verse before, and say will we yet. Stupendous. Really good. Normally I have a line about if you're unsure of where you are, there's a thing you can do, but you guys all got it, so I'm not going to say that line. This is another song from Tony Cuff. It's an Old Scots poem that Tony put to music. Say Will We Yet. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let the wind take the cares of this life on its back. For our hearts to despondency we never will submit. And we take and provided for, and say will we yet. Here we go. And say will we yet, and say will we yet. For we take and provided for, and say will we yet. Nice. Here's a health to the farmer, and prosper his plow, rewarding his heart and toil all the year through. For it's seed time and it's harvest we ever will get. For we live and die to providence, and say will we yet. And say will we yet, and say will we yet. For we live and die to providence, and say will we yet. So fill up a tankard of nappy brown ale. It'll comfort a heart and enliven a tale. And will aye be the merrier the longer that we sit. For we drank together many's the time, and say will we yet. Let the glass keep its course and go merrily round. For the sun will always rise when the moon it has gone down. When the house is spinning round about, there's time enough to flit. When we fell, we I got up again, and say will we yet. And say will we yet, and say will we yet. When we fell, we I got up again, and say will we yet. One more. And say will we yet, and say will we yet. For we take been provided for, and say will we yet. Superb singing.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Right. Unfortunately, it's got to that time of the evening where we're going to play one more set of tunes, and then we're going to stop doing this here. We're going to go somewhere else and do something else. And presumably useful as well. But before we finish this up, I'd like to give a big round of applause first to Chris and Joy for getting us in here and keeping us organised. Huge round of applause to Dave, who's been fighting the forces of evil and chaos in the wires. Woo! And last but not least, a huge round of thanks to all of yous for coming out and, either, braving hearing us again or coming and hearing us for the first time and not knowing what you were getting yourself into. It was a fantastic time playing for yous, and it would have been a very different evening had yous not been here. So, thank you very much. Finish now with surprise, surprise, a set of reels. Start with a wee tune called The Lambing Storm.
Thanks very much, folks.
Yeah, we were warned that this was going to happen.
That was only a pretend ending. It's like, chose not to do the old hide and seek move, you know. Oh, I don't know.
We're going to start the set over now.
I mean, we don't remember starting it tonight, so it'll be new for us, if not you as well.
Good evening.
Oh, we're Cantrip. And, yeah, thanks very much. All right. Oh. Beast? Yeah.
Just want to say, we have to kind of pinch ourselves to make sure we don't get used to this. It's a real pleasure to play for y'all. Thank you for coming out again, for continuing to support Old Songs, and thank you, Old Songs, for continuing to have us back. This has been a bit of a whirlwind. This is not quite the end of our tour, but it's nearly the end. We have tomorrow off, and then we're in Cambridge, Mass. on Monday. But we started this tour in Memphis, Tennessee, less than 2 weeks ago, and we made our way all the way up to Chicago, and then we were supposed to fly from Chicago. You know how that goes. So we've been driving from Memphis to here via Chicago for the last 2 weeks, and Wisconsin as well. Yeah. So we're alive, and we're here, and it's a great pleasure to sort of wind up with this one. It's been really great to play for y'all. So we're going to end you with a bit of a lullaby to calm the energy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
Now you know who you come out on a rainy night for.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Okay, well, thank you for coming tonight. Everyone, please be safe going home. The roads are slippery, the leaves are down, and they're slippery, so please be safe. Many hands make light work. If you're on this side of the room, if you can fold your chair and put it on the wall over there. There are little signs that say, place 10 chairs here, and the other side of the room on the other wall. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you next week. Oh, and the mall is still open if you haven't had enough of buying.